Welcome to the Department of Collegiate and Technical Education. E-Content Developer is Professor Basavaraj V.K., Department of Mechanical Engineering, Government Engineering College, Raichur. So here in metal cutting and forming, that is 18ME35A, we are studying 5th module, sheet metal operations. In that we are going to have the second session now. So after completion of this session, at the end of the session, students will be able to understand the various sheet metal operations, identifying the application of drawing operation, knowledge of punching and drawing process. So the content of this topic include introduction to punching, drawing, some MCQs and assessment on VTU question papers. So we'll have the introduction part of this. So in first session we have seen the sheet metal operation is a cold working process which is broadly classified into two types. One is the shearing operation or cutting operations, and the second will be forming operations. So in cutting or shearing operations we have seen that initially the plastic deformation of the metal takes place, then fracture, and lastly shearing takes place. So here during this process ultimately the cutting is going to happen. Some of the examples with respect to this cutting and shearing are, that is blanking operation, punching, we are going to have the PSC trimming operation, shaving, and so on. So here we will have the punching concept. So punching is a metal forming operation which uses a punch press to force a tool called a punch. It passes through the workpiece to create a hole via shearing. So when the punch moves in the downward direction on the workpiece, it occupies a die and then it supports with the die, and then the hole is created by means of a shearing process. So this punching process is applicable to wide variety of materials which come in the form of sheet, that is paper, vulcanized fiber, and some form of plastic sheets. So the punch often passes through the work into a die. A scrap slug from the hole is deposited into the die in the process. So we have differentiated the process of blanking and punching. We came to know that the material punched out to form a hole is considered as a waste here. That is, the sheet we are going to consider and the hole formed is waste over here. So depending on the material being punched, this output slug, what we are going to call, is recycled and reused or sometimes discarded also. So in punching, the sheet on which the hole is made is going to be the useful part. So the hole is the part, or the slug what you are going to get is the discarded part that can be recycled or reused. So compared to some processes, punching is the cheapest method for creating the holes in sheet material in medium to high production volumes. When a specially shaped punch is used to create a multiple usable parts from a sheet material, the process is known as blanking process. So in metal forming applications, the work is often punched while hot, and this is called as hot punching. So slight heat is provided which is going to help for the plastic deformation of the material. So by this the low load is also responsible for making the hole in it. So slugging is the operation of punching in which the punch is stopped as soon as the metal fracture is complete and metal is not removed but it is held in the hole itself. That output what we are going to have is called as a slug, and that process of getting it is called as a slugging process. So punch and die is often made of hardened steel or tungsten carbide here. So this set itself we are going to call it as a punching tool. Punch and die set we are going to call it as a punching tool. A die is located on the opposite side of the workpiece and supports the material around the perimeter of the hole and helps to localize the shearing forces for a clearer edge. So here the punch moves as we have discussed in the down direction. So a support will be provided for the workpiece, that is a die support is there. So when the punch moves, this material occupies the die, that is the perimeter of the hole, and localized shearing forces are responsible for cutting the edges of that. There is a small amount of clearance between the punch and the die to prevent the punch from sticking in the die, and so less force is needed to make the hole. So there is a small clearance between the punch and die so that the easy removal is taking place for the hole also. So in this piercing process where the hole in sheet metal is to be accurate and the output is wastage, the punch is made to the hole size. So the tool, top tool which moves in the downward direction is made to the hole size. The die opening size from the bottom is obtained by adding some clearance to the punch size. So the punch size is exactly the same as that of the blank size, whereas the die is going to have some clearance on its end. So usually the clearance is added to the die size and that is obtained for removal of the slug over there. But how much amount of clearance we are going to give, that all depends upon the thickness. With the thicker metals requiring more clearance, and the clearance is always greater than the thickness of the work. It also depends upon the hardness of the workpiece. The punch press forces the punch through a workpiece, producing a hole that has a diameter equivalent to the punch or slightly smaller after the punch is removed. So all ductile materials stretch to some extent during punching, which often causes the punch to stick in the workpiece. So we can see that when the punch moves in the downward direction to create a hole, so usually in case of ductile materials, the workpiece material is going to stick for the tool itself, that is the punch itself. So to removing that particular material from the punch is called as stripping process. Okay. So in this case the punch must be physically pulled back out of the hole while the work is supported from the punch side, and this process we are going to call it as the stripping process. So punching is carried out in plastics also. So punching in plastics fabrication usually refers to the removal of scrap plastics from the desired article. So whatever the scrap is there, that is removed over here. In extrusion blow molding, it is common to use punching dies to remove the tails or flash whatever is obtained, scrap plastic we are going to call it, and from the bottles or other molded containers also. So this is the concept of punching what we have seen. So in punching we are going to have a punch and die set as a tool. We are going to get the material punched out to form a hole is considered as a waste and the sheet is a useful part. Next we will see the drawing. So drawing in the sheet metal working process which uses tensile forces to stretch the metal. As the metal is drawn or pulled, it stretches thinner into a desired shape and thickness. So basically drawing process is classified in two types: sheet metal drawing and wire, bar and tube drawing. The specific definition for sheet metal drawing is that it involves plastic deformation over a curved axis. So for wire, bar and tube drawing, the starting stock is drawn through a die to reduce its diameter and increase the length. Means in steps we are going to have the increase in the length of that, and even the diameter also reduces every time. So that is in case of wire drawing, bar drawing and tube drawing. Successive steps we are going to reduce the diameter and increase the length of it. So drawing is usually done at room temperature. Thus it is going to be a cold working process. Sometimes it is carried out at a higher temperature also, so that the forces required to carry out the drawing operations can be reduced. So it is also called as one type of extrusion process. So there is a difference between the drawing and rolling, because in rolling process we are going to have the rolls. We are going to have the successive rolls. Two rollers will be there, or sometimes more than two rollers are there to reduce the diameter, whereas here the extruding process is going to happen. Here the amount of possible drawing force is limited by the tensile strength of the material. So particularly when drawing the thin wires. Whenever we carry out the drawing operation, we are going to observe the two things: the flow of the material and stretch of the material. So if the flow is smooth and stretching is proper, the drawing is going to be very clear operation. So here the die forms a shape from a flat sheet of metal. So there is a need for the material to move into the shape of the die. So the flow of material is controlled through pressure applied to the blank and lubrication applied to the die or the blank. If the form moves too easily, wrinkles will occur in the part. So there should not be excess moving also. At the same time, the work should not move very slowly. So if the slow is taking place, the induced stresses will be more. So because of which the wrinkles are going to be formed. To correct this, more pressure or less lubrication is applied to the blank to limit the flow of material and the cause material to stretch or set thin. That is according to the requirement of that. So we are going to have the deep drawing concept here. So sheet metal drawing becomes deep drawing when the workpiece is drawing longer than its diameter. So diameter is less and the length is high over here. It is common that the workpiece is also processed using other forming processes such as piercing, ironing, necking, rolling and beading. So in deep drawing process, we are going to have the desired shape change by drawing without failure. So all these processes, bar drawing, tube drawing and wire drawing, are going to have the reduction in diameter and increase in length at different intervals, or you can say that single working is not usually giving the result of bar, tube and wire drawing. So we are going to have at regular interval. So usually the die is mounted on a draw bench. The end of the workpiece is reduced or pointed to get end through the die. The end is then placed in grips and the rest of the workpieces are pulled through the dies. So at regular, that's what I told, reduction is taking place and then we are going to remove. Steels, copper alloys and aluminium alloys are common materials that are drawn here. Drawing can also be used to produce a cold formed shaped cross section. So in bar drawing, bars or rods that are drawn cannot be coiled, therefore straight pull draw benches are used. So the bar drawn at the end cannot be coiled, so we are going to have the benches for them. Chain drives are used to draw the workpieces up to 30 meters. Hydraulic cylinders are also used for shorter length of workpieces. The reduction in area is usually restricted to between 20 and 50% because greater reductions would exceed the tensile strength of the material depending on its ductility. So every time whatever the reduction we give from one stage to another is restricted over here. So that is usually we are going to have it as 50%. Means in a single step we are not going to get the final. So stage wise or step wise we are going to reduce the bars here. To achieve a certain size or shape, multiple passes through the progressively smaller dies or intermediate anneals may be required over here. So the cold drawing process for steel bars and wire carbide die cross section. So the raw stock is hot rolled steel bar or rod coils are used as raw materials. Because the hot rolled products are produced at elevated temperatures, so usually they are going to have 1700 to 2200 degree Fahrenheit. They have a rough and scaled surface and also exhibit variations in section and size. So this material shows the variation in section and size. So abrasive scale or iron oxide on the surface of the hot rolled rough stock is removed. Then the surface of the bar or coil is coated with the drawing lubricant to aid the cold drawing. So initially the heating is going to take place, then abrasive scale on the surface of the hot rolled rough stock is removed. So because of heating whatever the scale formed is there, that is going to be removed. Then some coating material is applied on the surface of the bar so that some cold working is taking place. Several inches of the lead end of the bar or coil are reduced in size by swaging or extruding so that it can pass freely through the drawing die. This is done because the die opening is always smaller than the original bar or coil section size. So initial diameter is more and the final is less. So in tube drawing, it's similar to the bar drawing only, except that the beginning of the stock is a tube. There we are going to have a solid bar, here we are going to have a tube. It is used to decrease the diameter, improve the surface finish and improve the dimensional accuracy. A mandrel may or may not be used depending on the specific process. So to support the work, we can have the use of mandrel or sometimes that is not used also. So we are going to have the wire drawing. So this technique has long been used to produce flexible metal wire by drawing the material through a series of dies of decreasing size. So that is a name itself is called wire it is. So very small diameters we are going to obtain by means of series of dies here. These dies are manufactured from a number of materials depending upon the usage. Usually tungsten carbide and diamond dies are used over here. We are going to have some MCQs. So in the deep drawing process, a clearance is provided between the punch and die to succeed the forming operation. That is true because for the easy removal of the out piece, whatever we are going to have, that is the waste piece here. Then in deep or cup drawing, maximum tensile stress is caused near the end of the punch. So that is also true. we are going to see here. Which of the following forming process is suitable for making utensils and cup shaped objects? So forging cannot be used, rolling is not possible, wire drawing is also not there. So we are going to make use of deep drawing process. In blanking operation, the clearance is provided on die, punch, both die and punch equally, punch or die. So you can see that in blanking operation we are going to have the punch moving in the downward direction. So the size of the die whatever we are using is a blank size only, whereas the punch is provided with some clearance because the punch has the movement in a downward direction. So the material is going to occupy the die shape. Usually the punch clearance what we are going to give is blank size and minus 2 times clearance of that. In deep drawing of sheets, the values of limiting draw ratio depends upon the percentage elongation of the sheet metal, yield strength of the sheet metal, type of press used, thickness of sheet. So usually the yield strength of the sheet metal is considered as the limiting factor for draw ratio. We are going to have some assignment questions. So explain the punching process. So while explaining this, we are going to draw the different stages of shearing. So here first basically we are going to talk about the plastic deformation, then we are going to show the fracture, how actually fracture is developed, then shearing is taking place. So after this we are going to show the punch and die arrangement, wherein that the punch moves in the downward direction on the work. We are going to show the work is supported on the die with holders, and then the die is going to support the piece or the die size what we are going to get it over. Then explain deep drawing process. So we are going to define the drawing, then we are going to define the deep drawing with a simple sketch. We are going to explain the moving of this process. So the referred textbook and links are Manufacturing Process by P. N. Rao and then this PDF. Thank you.